everybody, this is the Messy Raw Vegan and I am back with another recipe video for you today. Majority of the comments that I have been receiving on my Instagram page have been about my salads and how colorful they look. And so I thought I'd just hop on and show you how I do my salads, or how I come up with whatever salad I want to come up with. And so yeah, hopefully this won't be long, but it'll be informative, show you what I do, and motivate you to want to eat more greens. All right, so in this bowl I have 1 head of romaine and 1 head of Swiss chard. Okay, so this is the Swiss chard, and then I think like this is the romaine. All right, so 1 head of romaine, 1 head of Swiss chard. Next, I'm going to layer with my cucumbers. So I already have the cucumbers cut up. As you can see, they're washed and peeled. All right, so I like to layer my bowl with cucumbers just because it makes it look pretty, especially for like pictures and things, and also it's more motivating to my eyes, right? A lot of the times we as people look at food with our eyes, of course, and then we determine whether we're going to like it or not by what we see versus actually eating the food and tasting it first. So if it's something that's foreign that you've never eaten before and you're looking at it like, that don't look like that's going to be good. That's one of the major phrases that we say, right? That doesn't look like it's going to be good. Well, I like to make my salads look appealing so that they'll be easier for me to want to eat. All right, so that's how that looks so far. Next, I have cherry tomatoes. So I have sliced, as you can see here, they're sliced in half. I have sliced 15 cherry tomatoes, and then I'm just going to layer this. Now, mind you, I've never done this salad before, so this is literally me making this up as I go. So y'all are actually watching my process. And I'm just talking you through it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting these on here. And I love tomatoes because they're so refreshing, but they are nightshades, and some people are sensitive to nightshades, and their digestive system is not good when it comes to nightshades. So just be careful when you're eating tomatoes if you tend to have a sensitivity to them, all right? Next, I'm going to layer my, still got tomatoes. I'm going to layer my red bell pepper. So I have red bell pepper, and I'm just going to layer it on here like this. Red bell pepper, it has a host of vitamin C in it. So if you feel like you're not feeling well, get you some bell peppers and some dip, and that will help your immune system out to get stronger. Okay, so going ahead and layering the red bell pepper. I still have a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. And for the bell pepper, I did a half a bell pepper. Okay, so it's just a half. Next, I'm going to layer mushrooms. You guys know those are my favorite. So I'm just going to sprinkle my mushrooms on here along with the rest of my red bell pepper. All right. Okay, then I also have broccoli florets. All right, so I'm just going to place these around, not really sprinkling these just because they're a little larger. The smaller pieces I'll sprinkle. And for the broccoli florets, I used a half a head of broccoli. I just chopped off the stems and then kept the heads, so that I am not straining my mouth with all of that crunch, right? Okay, look how pretty that's looking. Okay, next is going to be my red onion. All right, and I left the red onion in strips just to do something different, because I always tend to do my red onion chopped up in squares. And so I'm just going to do my red onion in strips today. All right. I like to try to be a little creative. I'm not one to, have these super creative ideas with food and can just come up with stuff on the fly. Like my mother has that gift. I, on the other hand, do not have that gift. So I'm always following a recipe, or when it comes to a salad like this, I'll try to make them up as I go along. But I also have raw vegan influencers that I follow who have great salad recipe books as well. All right. So that's that so far. Look how great that looks. All right, so I think I told you all before that some raw vegans, not all, but some make concessions for the things that they love, for the items and the condiments that they love, because they don't want to give up everything, but at least stay as high raw as possible. And so I would say as long as you are like 85% raw, maybe even 75% raw, you're doing pretty good. I'm up there I would say I'm in the 85 to 90% range of being raw vegan. And I want to try to eventually work up to 100%. But that's a lot of work. So some stuff I'm just like, I don't have time to, pluck this and shred that. And, so I got to go buy it in bags, or I got to buy it in a jar or whatever. So if you have to buy something in a jar, I would just say, make sure you watch your labels and get the healthiest thing that you can as possible. So I said all that to say, I'm going to layer my salad with some of my favorite, items. Okay. So one of the things that I really like are okra pickles. My parents actually introduced me to okra pickles. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to put a few, not very many. I like to layer. I'm just going to do 4. Okay. Cross like that. And that's it for the okra pickles. Then olives. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with olives. I love olives. Olives are my absolute favorite. Like I literally could sit with this whole jar and just eat them out the jar. Like that's how much I love olives. But they're not, these aren't necessarily considered raw because they're in the jar, but it is what it is. These are one of my happy things that keep me happy and keep me motivated to stay on this lifestyle. So until I'm ready to actually give them up and go like the raw route, I'm just not going to do that for right now. So I love olives. As you see, I'm putting a lot on here. Okay. So I'm doing that. And then the last thing I'm going to add are Italian crunchy vegetables. And I know you're probably like, but Mika, you already have a lot of vegetables on your salad. Yes, I do. But I also like the taste of crunchier vegetables that have been soaked in vinegar. Like it just gives your salad a really big pop of flavor when you add a little extra something to it. Okay. So I'm going to put a few of these on here. Oh, this must be a big cauliflower. Yep, it is. All right. So I'm just going to use the cauliflower because like I said, I already do have a lot of veggies on it. So I'm just going to do a few of those. And that's it. This is how I come up with salads. I just come up with whatever greens I have in the fridge, whatever veggies I have in the fridge, and then decorate it up to make it look as pretty as possible. So I'm going to come back in a second and show you what kind of dressing I'm going to do with this, because that's going to take a little bit more time, but I am going to come back and give you what I do. Okay, you guys. So I actually changed my mind on the dressing that I wanted to make only because of the ingredients that I have in here. So because I have ingredients that have vinegar and they have a bit of the saltier and sour taste, I didn't want to make the dressing that I actually wanted to make, which was going to be a tahini curry dressing. Okay, so I have to show you the tahini curry dressing another day. So because of the veggies that I have in here, I'm going to go a little simpler, and I'm just going to do the cold pressed extra virgin olive oil and season the salad instead. All right, so I want to just go ahead and show you. This is 1 tablespoon here. Now, I don't know if you know, but oil is literally like pure fat, okay? So raw vegans tend to try to stay away from oil as much as possible because it is pure fat and it's the type of fat that will put fat on your body. So they try to stay away from it as much as possible, but sometimes we have to use it. So it is what it is. Like, that's what you work out for, right? So it is what it is. All right. So I did 1.5 tablespoons of cold pressed olive oil. And then y'all know my staples, Himalayan salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle just around the world, as I call it, around the bowl. All right. I also have my Mrs. Dash garlic, and I'm going to just sprinkle that around the world. And then I have my black pepper, which is going around the veggie world. And I also wanted to add a little bit of kick, so I have some organic cayenne pepper, and I'm just going to sprinkle that just a little bit, not as around the world as everything else. All right, so that's it, guys. This is how I make my salads. Well, one of the ways that I make my salads. I make them all kinds of ways, but I'll start coming on here and doing more salad videos because those are getting the most traction, and I want to make sure that you guys see the process and then get motivated to do it as well. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Until then, make sure that you take care of your temple. Have a good one. You know.